some of you probably already know me from the internet. I have been blogging online for over 11 years now at BabyRabies.com. Baby rabies is kind of like what happens when your baby fever is incurable. It started as a hobby and then it became my job, and it has grown into a full-time career for me, and it's the reason why we have the financial freedom now to do this trip. Well, one incredible thing that happened because of my blog, and like a lifelong dream that I've had, is I got to write a book. But let me tell you a little story about how the book came to be. Because I got an email asking me if I would like to write this book back at the beginning of August in 2017. And that meant, if you're following along with our timeline here, that basically I had to be writing a book from the minute we put our house on the market till nearly the minute that we closed and had to move out of our house. So we just got an email from our realtor, and it's just, I mean, it's nothing. They're closing, so everything's good to go. We're gonna close next week. So we're gonna close next week. And it just, we have not packed anything in this house. I am like writing a book, which is poor timing, but also like there's never a good time to write a book, right? But if somebody comes to you and says like, oh, we want you to do this thing that you've always wanted to do, you don't tell them like, oh, now's a bad time, I'm selling our house to move into an RV. So, you know, that I of course said yes. It took me a little over 6 weeks to write the book, and I was working nearly all day, every day on it. It was bananas and stressful and basically the worst possible time in my life when I could write a book. But how often do people just email you and ask you to do something that you've always wanted to do? Like, book deals just typically do not fall into your lap that easily, and so I knew I had to seize the moment. Today was a long day. I was up until 2 last night working, and then got up at 7 this morning and homeschooled the kids and kept them alive and fed them and worked on other deadlines and projects, and now I am already past this deadline because I told my editor I would have it to her by the end of the day, and it's technically the next day, but if I don't go to sleep, that doesn't count, right? I turned in my final draft literally the week before we closed on our house and had to start getting out of there. And then, you know, once you turn in your draft, that's not all the work that's done. That's like maybe half the work is done. There were final edits that I had to go over once we moved out of the house when we were living at my mom's. Then we got a little bit of a break when we were in Disney World. I was able to turn off work for a little bit, but I still had to answer questions about the copy. I had to get back to editors, and then all of the pre-sale madness began. You may remember that when we were staying in Fort Davis, we actually had 0 cell reception, 0 Wi-Fi. I mean, there was just no connectivity there.
This is devastating. No Wi-Fi. Just want to get one message out.
One message to go through.
So that naturally ended up being the day that my book went on pre-sale, which is like a huge deal. And there we are in the middle of West Texas with no way for me to communicate with my editors, no way for me to have conference calls, no way for me to send emails. And that was the beginning of this crazy thing called work-life balance on the road in an RV. Do you know what that is?
Stop, that's my thing.
Your book. It's my book! 14.
Pretty cool.
$14.99. Did you buy it? Right. It will be released on April 3rd. Oh my god, I have so much to do between now and then. Did I buy it? No, I wrote it. Do you see my name on it?
I know, but did you buy your own
Well,
book?
that's the beauty, is I don't have to buy my own book. I get copies for free, but I probably will. So the last few months have been all about us doing our best to enjoy this trip and realize that so many of the best places are not going to be connected to the internet. Nearly every national park, the minute we drive through, I have no connection at all. And also balancing that with having to be online to get my job done. And especially having to be online these last couple months to really promote the heck out of this book. We made it to Joshua Tree on Easter. The kids are headed off for a little hike with Scott to go climb some rocks. I actually have to stay behind and do a quick video for my book promotion, which is fine because Lowell's sleeping in the car. So I'm gonna get that done and then hopefully I can join them up there on these rocks. Scott is actually today at the pool with all of the kids. He's taken them from the RV all day and left me alone in here. And this is kind of how it ends up working out, like 2 or 3 days a week so far, is I end up stuck in the RV for 8 to 10 hours at a time just trying to get through work, just so that the rest of the week we can enjoy experiences together as a family. I have spent the last couple days holed up in the RV and working to promote my book because pre-sale is a really big deal, and I missed out on like a big window of pushing for pre-sale because we were in a lot of places with no internet. So that's a big reason why we stayed at the RV park we are staying at now. We paid a little bit more than we normally do, but we knew that they had really great internet connection and also a lot of stuff for the kids to do. But after being stuck there for 2 days, we have got to get out. So I'm taking advantage of a little bit of a drive to our next destination, getting some work done, emailing people. I'm always grateful that I can hotspot from my phone and that we have both a Verizon and an AT&T network to work from, because I can usually almost always on the road find some way to connect to the internet. I'm not saying it is the best situation, but you know what? It's always evolving. We're always learning from it.
Working at a pizzeria. Everyone else is waiting for their pizza. Mom is working away.
Like I said, today is such a big day and it's such an exciting day. I'm really excited to share with you all here on the BabyLeague channel, because I also feel like some of you may really enjoy my book. It's not about travel, it's not about RV life, but it is about something that I have experienced 4 times, and that is pregnancy. My book out today is 50 Things to Do Before You Deliver, the First Time Mom's Pregnancy Guide, and it is chock full of amazing tips, pregnancy hacks, recipes, advice, and hopefully just a good dose of this is gonna be okay. You are normal for the way that you feel, and you don't have to enjoy every minute of it, but we're gonna try to give you some coping techniques and some cool things that you can do to get the most out of these months while you're waiting for baby to arrive, so that you feel prepared and in control of motherhood. So I hope that you guys will check it out, tell your friends about it, maybe consider gifting it to somebody for a baby shower, and most importantly, just thank you so much for your support, because this is a big piece of why we were able to take off and hit the road. I'm so thrilled to be able to share this with you all. I really appreciate all of your support, all of your comments and likes. Don't forget to subscribe to BabyLeague, and on Saturday, I think we're gonna have something really cool to show you guys. Scott finally broke down and ordered a dishwasher for our RV, and yeah, we're gonna try to make that work.